Okay, so picture this. You're what, 18 years old? You're smart, ambitious. You're in London at a top-tier business school. You've got the suit. The resume is polished. And you're just sprinting toward what everyone tells you is success.
Right, the whole package. Corner office, six-figure salary, all of it.
And then you meet a monk. And not just any monk, but a guy who gave up this basically guaranteed path to wealth to shave his head and sleep on the floor in India.
It's the classic fork in the road, isn't it? Except, I mean, usually people are sprinting away from the rooms and the poverty, not toward them.
Exactly. But that is the origin story of Jay Shetty, the author we're covering today. He actually went from chasing that corporate dream to living as a monk for 3 years.
Wow.
And his book, Think Like a Monk, it's not just a memoir about, eating rice and meditating. It's basically a technical manual.
A manual on how to train your mind for, peace and purpose in a world that's basically designed to give you anxiety?
Yes, we really do need this.
And what's so fascinating is the core mission of the book. Shetty isn't suggesting we all, quit our jobs and move to an ashram.
Oh, not at all.
He's arguing we can apply that ancient wisdom, the monk mind, to our modern chaos without even leaving our living rooms.
Because right now, most of us are operating with what he calls the monkey mind.
The monkey mind.
I love that imagery, but let's be specific. What does that actually look like? Because my mind feels like a zoo most days.
Well, it's an idea that goes back centuries. The monkey mind it's overwhelmed, distracted, demanding. It's always clamoring for temporary fixes. It complains, it compares, it criticizes. It's totally self-centered and just jumps from branch to branch or, tab to tab in your browser without finding any real fruit.
Versus the monk mind, which I assume is just sort of floating on a cloud of bliss.
Not at all, actually. The monk mind is fiercely active. It's focused, disciplined, compassionate. It doesn't look for a quick fix. It looks for the root cause. It seeks meaning, not just pleasure. And the core argument is that you don't have to be a monk to cultivate that. You just have to train for it like a muscle.
So let's unpack how we actually do that training. The book is structured into 3 stages: let go, grow, and give. And it starts with something that, honestly, it made my brain hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Identity.
Right. Cleaning the mirror.
Yeah, there's this quote in the book from the sociologist Charles Horton Cooley. He writes, "I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am."
It is a tongue twister, but if you think about it for a second, it's the looking glass self.
It's terrifying is what it is.
It is. Basically, our whole identity is just wrapped up in a perception of a perception. We live our lives trying to project an image that we think other people want to see.
So we aren't living our own values. We're just performing for an audience that might not even be watching.
Exactly. And Shetty uses this great metaphor of a dusty storeroom to explain it.
Oh, right. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah. He talks about a senior monk taking him into this old, dusty storeroom and showing him a mirror just covered in layers of grime.
Okay.
The monk asks, "What do you see?" And Jay says, "I can't see anything. I can't see myself." And then the monk wipes the dust away, which sends up this cloud that stings Jay's eyes and chokes him. And he says, "Only when the dust is gone can you see your true reflection."
And the dust is the OEO's opinions, expectations, and obligations.
Precisely. It's all the external noise.
Yeah.
The monk's point is we don't even know who we are because we're looking through layers of what our parents wanted, what society wants, what Instagram tells us we should want.
Okay, but here's my issue with this. That sounds great, conceptually, wipe away the dust. But how do you actually do that? Because if I wipe away all the expectations, I might find out I'm a terrible person.
Or at least a lazy one.
Yeah.
That is the fear. But you have to run an audit, a value audit. And this is where Shetty gets uncomfortably practical. He says you can tell what you actually value by looking at 3 specific data points: your time, your media, and your money.
Okay, let's break these down. Because I feel like I value my family, my health, maybe learning.
Okay, let's say those are your values. Now, open your bank statement from last month. Open your screen time app.
Ugh, I don't want to do that.
Nobody does.
But that's the dust. If you say health is your #1 value, but your bank statement shows, I don't know, $0 on a gym membership or healthy food, but $200 on takeout and drinks.
Oh, boy.
And your screen time shows 3 hours a night on TikTok, but 0 minutes on that meditation app you downloaded.
Then health isn't really a value, it's a wish.
It's a fantasy. Exactly. The audit just reveals the gap between who we imagine we are and who we actually are based on where our resources go.
That is brutal.
We spend about 33 years of our lives in bed and something like 11 years on screens. If that time doesn't align with what you say matters, you're living someone else's life. Okay, so let's say we survive the audit. We start cleaning the mirror. Then we run into the next massive roadblock. All the stuff that clutters up the mind once we actually start looking. Negativity.
This is one of the strongest sections, I think. He calls them the cancers of the mind.
Complaining, comparing, and criticizing. The 3 Cs.
And the scary part is just how contagious they are. He cites this study showing that happiness and depression, it spreads through social circles like a virus.
Right.
If a friend living within a mile of you becomes happy, your own chances of happiness go up by 25%.
But surely the reverse is true then. If you hang out with complainers, you become a complainer. But hang on, sometimes you just need a vent. I mean, if I have a bad day, I need to get it out. Isn't that healthy?
That is the common belief. We think of it like a steam valve. I just need a vent, then I'll feel better.
Yeah.
But the research Shetty points to suggests that's a total myth. Venting doesn't actually release anger. It often reinforces it. It keeps the aggression alive. When you vent, you are reliving the negative emotion, rehearsing it, and just etching that neural pathway deeper into your brain.
So you're not letting it go, you're practicing.
You're practicing it. So what do? Just bottle it up. That seems worse.
So what's the alternative?
Not bottle it up. Process it differently. He suggests the spot, stop, swap method.
Okay.
First, you spot the negative thought. Oh, I'm complaining right now. Then you stop, just pause. Don't let it run on autopilot. And finally, you swap.
Swap it for what? If I'm jealous of a coworker getting a promotion, I can't just swap that for I'm happy. That feels completely fake.
It feels fake because we're trained to view success as this zero-sum game. If they win, I lose.
Right.
But the monk mind swaps that envy for mudita.
Mudita. Okay, I've heard this term, but explain it to me like I'm 5.
Think of mudita as the opposite of schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is taking pleasure in someone else's misery.
Guilty.
We've all felt that little twinge of satisfaction when a rival fails. Mudita is the principle of sympathetic joy. It's taking unselfish joy in another person's success. And here's the thing. It's actually a selfish hack.
How is it selfish?
Because if you can only feel good when you win, your opportunities for happiness are incredibly limited. You're miserable 99% of the time. But if you can train yourself to get a little dopamine hit when other people win, suddenly you have unlimited sources of happiness all around you. You are hacking the system to feel good about things you didn't even have to work for.
That is a fascinating way to look at it. It's an unlimited happiness glitch.
Exactly. And the ultimate form of this is forgiveness. But he distinguishes between different types of forgiveness.
Yeah, the latter.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people hear forgiveness and they just think doormat.
Right. At the bottom, you have zero forgiveness. I will never forgive you. That's just drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right.
Then there's conditional forgiveness. I'll forgive you if you apologize.
Which is just transactional.
Correct. But the goal is transformational forgiveness. Forgiving to free yourself, expecting nothing in return, not even an apology. It's linked to lower blood pressure, better sleep. It's a health decision as much as a spiritual one.
Okay, so we're cleaning our identity. We're hacking our happiness with mudita. Now we have to talk about the big one. The thing that stops us from doing almost anything meaningful. Fear.
Fear is interesting because the monk mind doesn't try to eliminate fear. It reframes it.
I loved the anecdote about Biosphere 2. Can you explain that one?
It's a perfect metaphor. So scientists built this giant sealed glass bubble in Arizona Biosphere 2 to create a perfect living environment, perfect air, water, soil. They grew these massive trees inside. But then a weird thing happened. The trees kept falling over before they reached maturity.
Because it was
too perfect.
Because there was no wind. In the wild, wind stresses the tree. It pushes it around, and that stress signals the tree to grow reaction wood, deeper roots, and stronger bark.
So without that resistance, without that stress, the trees just couldn't support their own weight. Exactly. Fear and stress are actually necessary structural components for growth. They are the wind. If we hide from them, we never grow roots. We just fall over at the first sign of real trouble.
But there is a specific type of fear that Shetty focuses on, and it stems from attachment. He uses this metaphor of Hotel Earth.
This is such a key concept. We tend to fear losing things, our house, our status, our loved ones, because we feel like we own them.
Right.
But the monk perspective is that we don't own anything. We're just guests.
Guests in a hotel.
Exactly. When you go to a really nice hotel, you enjoy the robe, the soft sheets, the view. You love it. But do you have a panic attack when you check out?
No, because I know I have to leave. It was never mine.
Right. You never thought you owned the room. You knew it was temporary, so you enjoyed it freely. Hotel Earth means treating life the same way. Detachment isn't being cold or indifferent. It's about enjoying things more because you realize they are temporary gifts.
So you don't grip them so tight that you crush them. Okay, that helps with the philosophy of fear. But what about the biology of it? When I'm in a high-stakes meeting and my heart is pounding, Hotel Earth feels very, very far away.
That's where we get to the physical tool, breath work. And I know everyone says just breathe, and it sounds so dismissive. But Shetty explains the biology here.
Why does it actually work?
Your breath is the only autonomic function you can consciously control. You can't just tell your heart to slow down. You can't tell your digestion to stop. But you can control your diaphragm. When you're stressed, you take short, shallow breaths. This signals your brain to stay in fight or flight mode.
So the body leads the mind.
It does. By forcing yourself to take slow, deep breaths, extending the exhale, you are physically flipping a switch. You're forcing the nervous system from the sympathetic, which is fight, to the parasympathetic, which is rest. You're hacking your own biology to tell your brain, we are safe.
So use the breath to calm the body so the mind can actually use the Hotel Earth logic.
You got it. You can't think your way out of a panic attack. You have to breathe your way out.
Okay, so let's move to part 4. We've dealt with the obstacles. Identity, negativity, fear. Now, what drives us forward? Intention.
This is where we look at the why. Why do you do what you do?
And he uses this tool called the why ladder. I tried this on myself while I was reading, and it is annoyingly effective at calling you out.
It digs deep. Let's walk through an example. Say you want a promotion at work.
I want a promotion.
Why?
Because I want more money.
Why do you want more money?
So I can buy a bigger house.
Why do you want a bigger house?
Because I want my family to be comfortable. Or maybe because my brother just bought a huge house and I feel small.
There it is. If the root is I feel small, that's fear. Fear of judgment, fear of inadequacy. But if the root is I want to support my family, that's love or duty.
And does it matter? I mean, if I get the promotion, I get the promotion. Who cares about the why?
It matters because of sustainability. Fear and desire, they burn dirty. They're like cheap fuel. If you're driven by fear, you are always looking over your shoulder. If you're driven by desire, you're chasing a moving target. There's always a bigger house. But if you're driven by duty or love, that fuel is clean. It lasts.
He tells that fable about the musk deer that sums this up so beautifully.
The musk deer, yeah. It's chasing this incredible scent through the forest. It runs and runs, searching for the source, just driving itself to exhaustion. It spends its whole life hunting for this scent.
But the tragedy is...
The scent was coming from its own pores. The musk was inside the deer the whole time.
We are the deer.
We are. We chase all these external scents, money, accolades, validation, thinking they'll give us satisfaction. But happiness is internal. You can't find it outside if you don't have it inside.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the summit of the mountain. Purpose, or as the monks call it, Dharma.
Dharma is a big word, but Shetty gives us a really clean equation for it. He says Dharma equals passion plus expertise plus usefulness.
Or Varna plus Seva.
Right. Varna is your nature, your skills, and your passion. Seva is service. It's not enough to just be good at something. You have to use it to serve a need in the world.
But there's a story here that I think we need to slow down for, because it defines this perfectly. The scorpion and the monk.
It's such a powerful image. Picture this. A monk is sitting by a riverbank, meditating. He opens his eyes and sees a scorpion struggling in the water, drowning.
Okay.
Instinctively, the monk reaches in to scoop it out.
And scorpions don't like being touched.
No! Snap, it stings him. The monk pulls his hand back in pain, and the scorpion falls right back into the water.
So he leaves it, right? I mean, lesson learned.
You would think.
Yeah.
But he shakes off the pain, reaches back in, and tries to cup his hands again. Sting. It happens again. His hand is swelling up. He's in agony.
Wow.
A bystander is watching this and thinks the guy has lost his mind. He yells out, "Why do you keep helping it? It's just gonna sting you." That's what scorpions do.
And the monk's response.
The monk just calmly looks at his swollen hand and says, "It is the nature of the scorpion to sting. It is my nature to save."
Okay, I get the metaphor. Be true to your nature. But can I play devil's advocate here for a second?
Please do.
In the real world, if I keep helping a coworker who keeps stabbing me in the back, I'm not a saint. I'm a doormat. I'm an idiot.
That is the common pushback. But Shetty clarifies this. Being the monk doesn't mean you let the scorpion kill you. You can wear gloves. You can use a stick to move the scorpion.
So you protect yourself, but you don't stop helping.
Precisely. You don't change your nature, your dharma, your kindness just because their nature is toxic. You just change your method. The moment you stop helping because you're afraid of getting stung, the scorpion has changed your nature.
You've let the external world dictate your internal state.
Exactly.
That is actually a really high bar.
Yeah.
But it leads to a very countercultural idea in the book. We tell kids, you can be anything you want. The monk mind says, no, you can't.
You can't be anything you want. You can only be everything you are. That's the key takeaway. You have a specific nature. If you're an introvert who loves data and silence, forcing yourself to be a charismatic public speaker, because that's where the money is, that's probably not your dharma.
It's all about alignment. Don't try to be a scorpion if you're a monk.
And don't try to be a monk if you're a scorpion. Find what you are and then use that to serve. That is the only path to satisfaction.
So we've gone from clearing the dust off our identity to managing the cancers of negativity to detaching from fear via the breath, climbing the why ladder, and finally finding our dharma.
It's a comprehensive system. It's not just think happy thoughts. It's do the work.
As we wrap this up, there's one final concept from the source material that really sticks with me. The illusion of success, or Maya.
Yes. This is crucial for the ending. Maya means illusion. We think success is the destination. We think, if I get the job, the spouse, the house, I'm done. I win.
Right.
But Shetty argues that success is just a vehicle.
A vehicle for what?
That's the question. If you drive a Ferrari off a cliff, it doesn't matter how expensive the car was. You still crash. If you get everything you think you want, the gold dust on the temple ceiling, but your intention was just to satisfy your ego, you will arrive at the destination and feel completely empty.
Because the goal was in service.
Exactly. The only thing that sustains satisfaction is turning your passion into service for others. That is the only way to escape the monkey mind and find the monk mind.
So, for everyone listening, here is a challenge to leave you with. Don't just nod along. Start with just one audit today. Just one.
Look at your last 5 purchases, or look at the last 3 hours of your screen time, and ask yourself, does this reflect who I want to be, or is this just more dust on the mirror?
It's a scary question, but a necessary one. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
See you in the next one.